I recently had an unwanted guest here in my garden behind me. I had a snake. Now, thankfully, it was just a harmless banded water snake, but it could have just as easily been a copperhead or a rattlesnake. And that's just something that we can't afford to have here in a residential neighborhood full of children. In this video, I want to go over basic snake behaviors so that we can have a better understanding of how to avoid them, and also gives you some tips and tricks that'll keep snakes out of your yard. Hi, I'm Dr. Tom Warren, and you're watching The Plant Doctor. Let's get started. One thing we need to understand is basic snake behavior. Snakes tend to have territories, and depending on species, these can range anywhere from 5 acres to 15 to 20 acres. And territories tend to overlap. So just because you get one snake out of your yard does not mean that eventually another one's going to come in if the conditions are right for those snakes. So what are the right conditions for snakes, and how can we eliminate those conditions to deter snakes from coming into the yard and not having to worry about our pets and our kids? One thing we need to understand is basic snake behavior. Snakes tend to have territories, and depending on species, these can range anywhere from 5 acres to 15 to 20 acres. And territories tend to overlap. So just because you get one snake out of your yard does not mean that eventually another one's going to come in if the conditions are right for those snakes. So what are the right conditions for snakes, and how can we eliminate those conditions to deter snakes from coming into the yard and not having to worry about our pets and our kids? I'll give you a hint. It's not the over-the-counter stuff. If you Google how to get snakes out of my yard, Extension Service, the land-grant universities of every state in the United States has one, and all of this information is based on peer reviews. So if you type in your state, how to get rid of snakes in my yard, Extension Service, for example, here I'm in Alabama, so Auburn University would be my extension, and they have articles on how to get rid of snakes. So I would encourage you to do that. But there's an overwhelming consensus of how to do this. All the articles I read online give the same advice. So let's go over the top 5 steps of how to keep snakes out of your yard. The first recommendation that I can give you to reduce the probability of having snakes in your yard is to take away the food source of potential rodents. Now, I don't have mice here or rats around the house, but I have seen a lot of chipmunks lately. And so snakes will feed on small rodents. Chipmunks fall into that group. And so the chipmunks in and of themselves don't climb up here and eat the bird seed out of the bird feeders. But what happens is the birds come, they splash the seed on the ground, and then the chipmunks come in and they feed. So we're going to make some adjustments to how we do our bird feeders. We're going to let the bird feeders deplete themselves here, and we're not going to refill them until winter. So we're in the middle of summer right now. We're not going to starve any birds to death by taking this away in the months of July and August and September. There's plenty of alternate food sources around. There's plenty of insects they can feed on. There's a lot of native plants. I have woods around my house, and there's tons of native plants that have flowered. They have seeds all over them. But as the snakes begin to hibernate, we will bring the bird seed back out and feed them. The second recommendation that I can give you is to keep your grass mowed under the 3 to 4 inch range. Don't let your grass get 4, 5, 6 inches tall. That's the perfect hiding place, not only for snakes, but also their food source that they're looking for. So make sure that you're mowing your lawn somewhere in that 2 to 3 inch range is ideal. So this is for zoysia and Bermuda grasses. I know if you have fescue, if you're watching this and you're in Ohio or in the Northeast or Pacific Northwest, you may have Kentucky bluegrass or fescue, and you've got to mow those a little bit higher than that. So maybe the 4 inch range for you guys. But if you have what we call a southern turf, a Bermuda, a zoysia, a St. Augustine, a centipede, mow that in the 2 to 3 inch range, and that keeps some of the habitat down for the snakes and also their food source. So the third thing that I can recommend is the type of mulch that you use matters in keeping snakes deterred from your lawn and your landscape. So pine straw, yes, I have pine straw here, and I'm going to sound a little bit hypocritical, but pine straw is not the best mulch if you're trying to deter snakes. Snakes can go underneath the pine straw. In particular, something like a copperhead is going to blend in perfectly with that pine straw. You're not going to see that copperhead unless he moves. That's how well they blend in with pine straw. What I've done here over the past couple years, I've extended this bed out. This is a brand new bed for me. We've got new hostas. We have small Japanese maples that I've grafted myself. All this stuff is things that I've grown in my backyard nursery. But I have implemented pathways through this area. So we're using a pine bark mulch here so the snakes can't get underneath the pine bark mulch. So if you have an area that's high traffic and you don't want to create a habitat for snakes, consider using pine bark mulch, consider using rocks as well. So our most heavily trafficked area is comprised of rock. And then our secondary pathways, we have this mulch like you see here. And in areas that we rarely go into, like at the back end of the property here to my right, this is pine straw. One of my favorite things to do on a crisp fall evening is to sit out with the family by the chimenea and have s'mores, listen to music. If there's a college football game on, we may have the TV on with the football game. Just a good time had by all. But that requires that we have some sort of firewood in order to accomplish that. If you're keeping firewood around your house, put it in the back of your property. I've got this right up on my property line. There's nobody that lives behind me, so I'm not encouraging snakes to go close to somebody else's house, but yet I'm a good 100 feet from my house as well. So this is a nice happy medium. Don't have your firewood stacked right up against the house because this is an area that rodents can live in. Snakes can build a home up underneath this log pile just as easily as a rodent can. This is an excellent place for them to hang out. So keep your wood piles away from high traffic areas. If you need to eliminate the food source of a snake, so I have a lot of chipmunks here lately, find where the chipmunks are living. It's usually easy to find out if you just make general observations. It's usually going to be under some shrubbery, like you see here, these Nellie R. Stevens behind me, and you'll see little holes in the ground a little bit bigger than the diameter of a golf ball. You can set these traps, put a little bit of peanut butter in the back with some sunflower seeds, and they can't resist it. I've caught several chipmunks with this over the past several years. The chipmunks have kind of been a problem for me the past few years. It's only recently that I've seen a snake and gotten really serious about getting rid of some of the chipmunks. But I'm not killing the chipmunks. I have some woods about a quarter mile down the road from me, and I catch them in this cage here. It's got a nice little handle so they can't bite you. And we just lift up the door here and they run off into the woods and they're fine. If you've dealt with snakes in a residential setting and you have a solution that you used that I did not go over, please share that with us in the comments below. Guys, as always, thank you for watching The Plant Doctor, and until next time, happy gardening.